Today we was here with GAC quarterback Jack Staton. Just had a big time game against Kale, man. Really impressed me, blew me away with how he plays. And we're just gonna get into it a little bit with him, talk a little bit about how his season's been progressing. The GAC right at the top, just obviously suffered their first loss, but having a really spectacular season. We're gonna talk about some of his teammates, that dynamic receiving core, Gabe Daniels, Braylon Burgess, Xavier Daisy, and talk a little about his running back and this is his relationship with his coaches. So we're gonna get right into it and break them on. What's going on, Jack?
How's it going?
It's going good, man. Feeling good. How you feeling today?
Feeling good. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good. So we'll get right into it, Jack. You guys was featured on TV this past Friday. I was really impressed leaving the game. I was like, this GAC team can really ball. And it just looks like to me like you kind of get it, right? You know where you want to go with the ball. You're a very accurate passer. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the summer and how that went for you, but just what's allowed you to kind of get to this point, just a strong command of the offense and being able to make all the right reads and throws. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Look like you went. I'm not sure what happened. Can you hear me? Okay. I think he tried to exit and come back. Obviously, I'll restart up that question in a second. Not sure what happened there. But yeah, man, just really impressed with his game, how he kind of came in, in that week. Big time game against, like I said, against Kel. Major key man. Big time game. Let's see if we get him on. Hey, Jack, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that, man.
It's all good.
Had an audio issue there, but yeah, I was just asking, just what's allowed you to kind of get to this point? You look like you have a strong command of the offense. You know where to go with your throws. You know how to get your playmakers involved. Just what's allowed you to get to this point where you are with GAC?
Yeah, so it's a ton of hard work. Working with my receivers super consistently through this offseason. Our receiver coach, Coach Brown, spends so much time with us. And just sort of building that connection helps a lot throughout the season. And it's less second guessing whether if they're going to be open or how they're going to run their routes. I'm confident that they're going to do what they're going to do. And that just really helps going into games, and especially big games. It just makes everything a lot easier on my part. So
For sure. And then I want to talk about the end of your junior season, going into senior year. Just what were the biggest things you worked on this off season to kind of hone your craft and kind of perfect it and just, continue to improve and get to where you are?
So yeah, one of the big things I worked on was just getting my lower body better and more incorporated in my throw. It helped me get a lot more power, and just took a lot off my arm throughout this off season. So
Got you. And then when you're working on that, because we've seen like in the NFL, like obviously that guy's like he tries to torque his hips. I've heard from some of the best quarterbacks in the game. They talk about how important it is to kind of get that power from below and then not rely so much on your arm. So, what are some things you have to do in order to kind of get that power from there? What are some drills you worked on? Just what are some things you got to work on to kind of get that power up from down low to get it to where you want to be?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I tie a lot of it into baseball. It's similar but different to swinging. In baseball, just your hips lead everything, and so some of the drills I do are big with medicine ball, not throwing, but just tossing medicine balls into walls, and just really feeling it is the best way to get better at it. So
Okay.
mhm.
Okay, kind of a feel thing. Okay, cool. And I also sense like a kind of a calmness to your game. You don't look like you're ever rattled, very poised, just even if you're getting pressure, right? You don't make the big mistake. You're cool, calm, and collected. Has that always just been a part of your game, or did that you kind of naturally grew into that?
It's really just been all a part of my game since I've been young. Just I feel like it's a confidence in myself and just trusting trusting everyone around me. And it really helps. I don't get too frantic ever, and it's good.
For sure. And then talk a little bit about your relationship with your OC. just kind of the impact he's had on your game as well. What's that relationship just been like over the course of your career at GAC? How has that kind of helped you flourish as well within the program?
It's been great. Coach Hardy's a great quarterback coach and just head coach in general. And he's taught me so much about the position, and he really helps. I have a good connection with him. We go through each week. We have a lot of conversations about our offense, what I like, what he likes. And just going into each week, we're confident, like how each other feel about the game plan, and it helps. It helps a lot because he knows what I'm comfortable with, and he'll call plays to what I favor. So
Got you. And I want to ask you about that. Obviously, you see different levels to it, right? You see the college level and you see the professional level. And sometimes the professional level, you'll see, they got such a good relationship. If the quarterback sees something or senses something at the line of snap, he might say, can. He might check the play to something else he feels more comfortable with. So just speaking on a high school level or even just your school, what kind of I guess, command do you have in that sort of a sense? Are you more so you just kind of listen to your coach, go with what he says, or sometimes are you able to make those checks on the line and say, hey, coach, communicating with him through the headset, hey, I think this play might work, or hey, I think this might be get us in the best play. Like, do you have that kind of same autonomy, or is it different?
I do. A lot of it's week by week, but even like just throughout the basic weeks, I sort of I sort of have a lot of stuff to do with protections, whether they're lined up in certain fronts, and then also with our receivers, just we can check stuff if we see something we like. We have a ton of communication on the field, like, hey, I'm getting past this kid, and then also on the sidelines, just talking with Coach Hardy about what I'm seeing, what he's seeing, and plays that we like, plays that we don't like. So that's huge for us and huge for a quarterback to be successful.
For sure. And then, for you, just, how important do you think it is just, with just film study? Because like you said, with the quarterback, you're doing a lot of processing. You got a lot of process a lot at the line of the snap. Talking about knowing your protections and the constant communication. So how important is that kind of going into the game, knowing what the defense is going to do or knowing if, hey, they're disguising this coverage, but they're running this coverage. How important is that to kind of know film study and be able to kind of get a beat on what the defense is doing?
It's huge. I would say the biggest thing is it just helps me like I'm just locked in during the game because I'm less worried about what the defense is going to do because I've seen what they're going to do on film. I'm confident and I'm not second guessing myself, and more so worried about what we can do on offense in order to best put ourselves in the best position to win and score.
100%. Now, I want to go back to the summer. I know you played for Grind Factory and also you played with GC. So I want to start Grind Factory first, playing 7-on-7. What kind of tournaments did you play in or showcase did you play in this summer? And how has it been just kind of playing with that group and that program, just going with them during the summer? How has that helped your game as well?
So I wasn't with Grind Factory a ton this summer. It was more of my high school. I was with them since I've been really young though, and they've played a really big factor just with helping me get exposure, putting me in these wild 7-on-7 tournaments where there's a ton of cameras on you, and just sort of from a young age being that position has helped a lot. Because when I go into these TV games and bigger games, it's not too much different because I've already been there. But they've been super influential on my path. So
Got you. And then speaking of the summer, I know you see them spend a whole bunch of time with them. You kind of were more with your high school. Did you guys go to a lot of different 7-on-7? You talked about early on just the time you got with receivers working with them. So how was this the summer with GAC? What were some things you guys did this summer?
yeah, so we played in 3 7-on-7 tournaments. We went to Auburn. We won Auburn. That was a huge tournament, and a lot of fun. And then we went to Georgia Tech in Georgia, and we made deep runs in both of those tournaments. And just I think a lot of it was this spring, building connection with the receivers and our defense. Like spent so much time film study and getting prepared that sort of helped, gave us a good confidence boost going into this season. And then also we have a strength coach, Coach Manny, and he's great. He got us so ready for this year. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it got us ready. We can feel a big difference between this and last year, just the physicality and just how well we're moving, how well our bodies feel right now. So sort of some of the stuff we did this summer that's really helped right now.
Yes, sir. And then Last thing on 707, just what would you say to just critics that say, oh, well, it's not real football, but I've noticed you just said the timing and continue to kind of build on the connections with the receivers. So how important is that in building that during the summer? So when you come in the season, it's kind of like, okay, hey, I know what this receiver's going to do. I know if he has leverage on this corner, I like this potential matchup because I know the timing and what we can do well. How important is that? And what would you say to those critics that think 707 doesn't really help?
Yeah, I think it's really huge just because it gives you live reps and you can't replicate them at all. Obviously, it's not the same. You don't have a pass rush. You don't have to worry about some other factors, but just like letting your eyes get used to seeing certain coverages, how much, like how far you in front of the receivers can you throw it and trust them. So that's really huge. It just gives you more live reps and experiences with the wideouts, and that helps a ton.
100%. Well, let's go to senior year now. What's just been your favorite moment so far this year? I know, unfortunately, it's kind of coming down to a close. Two regular season games before you hit postseason. Just what's been your favorite moment about the season so far?
Yeah, so we at GAC we do a team camp every summer, late July, where we go. We don't bring our phones and just sort of we're there for 3 days. Uh, Good bit of football, a ton of hanging out with my brothers, and it's just so fun. It's some of the best memories I've had in my life so far, just because we're all hanging out till all day, and it's just a lot of fun. So
And then the team camp, y'all do that on campus, or do y'all like go somewhere and just kind of?
we don't we go to the middle of nowhere in Georgia. So
Wow,
and it's hot out. We go to probably we go Central Georgia area. Um, it's a ton of fun.
that sounds fun. Y'all going back old school.
Hmm.
Everything's with the
Yeah,
phones, and
yeah,
that's kind of like this good team bonding, right?
it is. It is.
Good, good. Okay. I love to hear that, man, especially with how it is with social media and stuff, how it is
Mhm.
today and all the attention. But tell me, man, what is your favorite route to kind of throw, right? I feel like every quarterback has that certain route they like to throw to the receiver. It could be a corner, a dig, a slant, a go, a 50-50 ball. What's your favorite kind of just route to throw?
Probably go a post. Um,
Post.
they're fun to throw. I also love throwing sail routes. Those are my two go to for sure. That I'm most confident myself with throwing, and I really like them.
And what's kind of your favorite thing? Just the position of the receiver? Like, what do you just enjoy most about those throws?
They're pretty. Um, like throwing a good post and a good sail route, nothing beats it. Just comes out of your hand well. See the receiver run under it. It's just satisfying. So,
No, for sure.
mhm,
Definitely. And then I want to kind of talk about the GAC game. A lot of people didn't give you a chance. I know that doesn't matter to you. And I
mhm,
know you guys are locked in on what you have going. But I mean, like I said, I left fairly impressed. And it just seemed like you guys were on a good connection. Obviously, some plays didn't go your
mhm,
way. Unfortunately, pick six at the end. But just
mhm.
what was the atmosphere like in your eyes? I mean, I was there, but just playing in that game and kind of just being, I mean, you guys were down 1 point. You guys were going back and forth with a really
Mhm.
good team and a highly ranked team at that. So just what was the atmosphere like for you?
It was a lot of fun. Obviously going into it, Kel's a really good team. Has athletes all around the field. So we knew that going into the game. We knew it was going to be a big game for us, tough game. Um, I mean, we didn't make the plays we needed to in some parts of the game. All three phases of the game, we left some stuff on the board. So sort of frustrating after the game, but we have a good mindset right now going into next week. We play Chattahoochee, a big region game that we need to win. Um, so if we can take this game, take this last game, and sort of put it behind us, but use it as motivation, so it should be nice. Will help us.
100%.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. And how fun is it to play with GL Tiberia, right? Like in that game, he sets the tone, right? First snap, he gets the
Hmm.
kickoff return, takes it all the way deep into the red zone of Kale. You guys are like already coming out firing, swinging this, and he had 2 touchdowns in the game, over 280 all-purpose yards. How fun is it just to play with him and have that kind of just tandem in the backfield?
Oh, it's great. GL is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in the state. He's a great player. It takes a ton of pressure off my plate because I know at any time in the game for him he can break a 60 yarder. Um, so it really helps a lot. He's also super versatile out of the backfield, really good at catching passes, really good in the protection game. So it's really nice to have him. He's a great player.
Yes, sir, for sure. And then just talk about just the connection, just personally with your receivers. I know you talked about playing with them obviously in the summer and building that connection, but just what is it like playing with an Xavier Daisy who's going to UAB, a Gabe Daniels who really impressed me coming into the game, and obviously after the game, and then Braylon Burgess. What just impressed you about each one? I know each one's different, but what just impressed you about each one of their games?
Oh, they're all great. I'm super close with all of them. I mean, obviously, you have Xavier. He's gonna win any jump ball you throw to him. Big kid. He's pretty new to football as well, too, which is the crazy thing. I think he has so much more. Like, he has a ton of potential still, too, and he's at this point of his game already where he's dominating, taking over games. So that's pretty cool. And Gabe's a great receiver. He's taken a huge stride between these past couple years. Lightning fast. He runs a 10.7 in track. Um,
Wow.
so I'll never be able to out throw him. You throw it up, he's gonna get it. And then Braylon's one of the most consistent players for our team. He does everything right. I can trust him. I know exactly what he's going to do every single time, and he's going to make plays. If you give him the ball, he's going to make plays. So
100%. Now I want to go to the school aspect, and I want you to describe for me just what is it like being a part of the GAC program? I know it's a private school. You're there every day. Just how are academics, man, and how is it just going there on campus every day and being a part of that just great institution, right? We've seen you guys had numerous of great players football wise, make it to the NFL, make it to deep basketball players, same thing. Just what is it like to be a part of that program?
it's good. There's obviously a ton of tradition, and some big shoes to fill with some of the players that have come through. It's it's fun, just because you have a lot to live up to, and you hear about these great teams that have come through, and you're just trying to be better than them, honestly. Make a name for yourself. And then from the academic piece, JC is a tough school, compared to my old school. I went to Buford growing up, so
Oh wow.
there's an academic shift for sure. A lot more work, harder, but I think it's really good just to set us up for college. I feel prepared going to college, so it's helped.
And just talk about that, kind of just the academic rigor and how do you just balance that with football and continuing to just play at a high level? Obviously you got to balance school. You taking the AP classes?
I do, yes, sir.
So well, first off, how many do you take?
Right now, so I'm in 3 dual credits, which are partial college classes, and then I'm on 1 AP right now.
One AP. So just how do you balance all that, man? And just continuing to, those daily deposits, being consistent on the football field. How you balance all that?
It's just managing my time well. Just I have a study hall that I can get a ton of work done in, and if I'm efficient there, it just lets me have more time for football, watching film, and then so just prioritizing my time in certain, like, trying not to waste time on video games or on my phone when I'm at home. So yeah,
Okay, and describe for me like just going to a Christian school, is that kind of a part of it too? Just far as do you have to go to church on Sundays? I don't know what it's like. That's why I'm asking. Like, how is it? The whole environment in general. Do you guys have certain like things you have to do with chapel during the school year as well every week? Like, how is that aspect of it as well?
yeah. So our school, I mean, all of the educational part is super faith based. So our teachers are all Christians. Talk about it in class, and then we have weekly chapels, um, sort of worship and everything. Talk about talk about just life. It's really good. It's super important to me is my faith, and going to a Christian school that prioritizes that stuff. It's really good. Just keeps me connected with the Lord. So I really like that part of GAC.
Got you. And now I'm gonna let you laud on kind of your group and obviously your fan base and a little bit of just the atmosphere. Just describe for me what is it like being at GAC, being a Smartin on a Friday night. How's the crowd? Just how is the home environment coming in there and playing at GAC?
It's fun. We don't have the biggest school. We don't have a ton of kids that go to GAC, but everyone's super supportive. And we have a good bit of fans. And they're always happy to be there on Fridays, and win, lose, or draw, they're going to be there for you the next Friday. So that's the nice part about them.
Got you. And then describe for me going back to a game, just the first game of the season, right? You guys set the tone, getting a big win against, Meadow Creek, a team that's been improving. Just how cool was that to kind of get that win to get with a crosstown rival? Lost the year before, but come in and set the tone for the season. Just what was that game like? And how much you enjoyed just like setting the tone good and right for the season as it started?
It was good. Obviously coming in from last year, we needed to get our get back on them. They're a good team, so it was more relieving after the game. Like we had a lot of talks, like, "Hey, we're gonna be pretty good this year." And I mean, obviously, you're never gonna really know until you have to face competition. So after that game, we were like, "We got a chance." So that was probably the best part of playing them and winning them in the fashion that we did. So
Got you. And then just talk about just your weekly practice. How cool is it? Obviously, how many times a week do you practice? And then just going against that secondary, every single day or every 4 days or however often you practice. Just how that's prepped you for just some of the games going against some of the steeper competition.
yeah, I mean, we practice 4 days a week. We have 2 full pads day, and then walk through Wednesday and a fast Thursday. So it really helps. We changed that up this year, and it's helped, like all of our bodies feel so much better. But going against our DBs, I like taking scout team every once in a while. Every week, I'll try to go take a scout team, try to help our defense prepare for this week. But also, just going against a group of starters really helps. Just give me live reps against competition, and that really helps.
For sure. And then I want to go back to the game. It was a close one. You guys played Pace Academy, 17-14 win for you guys. I know they got a lot of studs, Jordan Burns. They got Heaven Brown Schuler. Just how was it kind of playing in that game against, a pretty good opponent in Pace Academy, road game being in their atmosphere? How was that game for you?
It was fun. They're a really good team, ton of athletes, and we got up on them pretty early, and then we sort of fell off a little bit, but came out with the big one. Our defense played great, had a huge goal line stand, but playing against some good, like a good team that early on in the season really helped set us up, um, which was nice. We lost to them last year, and sort of not a way we wanted to. So everyone was super locked in that week we played them, and like we have to win. And so that really helped give us momentum going into our next couple games and early on in the region.
For sure. Now, two parts of your game I want to talk about. Obviously, you mentioned how you worked really on just your lower body this offseason, but I want to talk about the accuracy and just the decision making, right? Sometimes you see a quarterback kind of struggle with interceptions, but you take care of the football, right? Just first, I want to talk about the accuracy. I mean, you just seem like you just hit your receivers every time. Like, there's not a lot of balls you miss on, right? I want to talk about that part of your game. How'd you work and get that to where it needs to be? Obviously, I know it's a work in progress. You're still trying to get better. And then this is decision making, right? Like I see a lot of times some guys will make a negative play when nothing's there, but you'll see it like you made a great play. For example, one you just went and you slid, right? It was like nothing there. Hey, I'm not gonna put my team in a precarious situation. I'm gonna just slide and hey, go to the next play. Where does that come from? The decision making and the accuracy on the balls that you throw.
Yeah, so from the accuracy standpoint, I played quarterback since I've been in 5th grade, and sort of just I've been doing it for a while and practicing a lot. I put so much time and effort into being a good quarterback, and just the reps that I put in sort of helped me a ton. And then going in like even this off season, just with my receivers, spending time with them, it also helps being accurate because then I'm not second guessing myself and just throwing the ball instead of aiming it. And then from like being my good decision making, I take a ton of pride. That's probably the part of my game where I would say I'm best at right now. Um, I have a really good football IQ and just thinking through stuff really, whether it's film and like clearing my mind before every play and like down a distance. What's the plan? What do we need? How much time's on the clock? That really helps. Like for example, when we slid, it was getting late in the half. Um, so you don't want to take a super negative play, but you also don't want to stop the clock. So they had to waste a timeout there. Don't like limit the chances for them to score. So that's sort of just clearing my mind and thinking through everything has helped. And that sort of an important part of my game is my IQ.
For sure. And then last question, I'll ask some fun stuff and then let you get out of here. Just want to talk about Chattahoochee, right? This big time region game. I believe it's a home game for you guys.
Yes, sir.
What do you guys need to do in this game and kind of just come out on top, get the victory, keep treading forward, and potentially lock down that 2 seed and get that home playoff game?
Chattahoochee's an athletic team. They're putting up a ton of points right now, averaging 40 points over the past 5 games. We sort of just need to do what we do. We need to lock in, execute when we need to. We need to play better in the red zone this week. We really struggled there last week, and just if we play fast and execute, it should be good for us. So yeah, just locking in.
100%. And last question on that, just how fun is it to kind of come to work every day with that offensive line? I know sometimes they get kind of looked over, they don't get talked about a lot, but just talk about your connection with them, kind of how they've helped you as far as just with their protections and being able to, keep you upright and being able to allow you to do your thing back there.
Yeah, I mean they're the unsung heroes of our team. They put in so much work. They're smaller than most lines, but they put in so much work. Our offensive line coach, Coach Knight, pushes them every day. They're some of my best friends on that line. So I have a ton of respect for them. I'm super grateful and thankful for them. And they come to practice to work every single day. And they've made so much progress over the past couple of years.
For sure. All right, let's ask a fun question. I think I'm gonna ask a fast five, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. Okay.
Sounds
So,
good.
one, what's your favorite post game meal? Where are you going to go get some food from? And you just got a big win this year. Let's say you beat Metal Gear, you beat one of those teams 55-14. You get a big win. Where are you going afterwards to get food, and what's that order you getting?
Going to Waffle House. Our whole school's there.
Wow.
Yeah, I get an all-star meal every single time.
Wow. Waffle House.
There's one right across the street from our campus too. So it's so fun. All the football
Okay.
players are in there. A lot of our students are in there. So good atmosphere.
Respect that. Okay, Waffle House All Star Special. Okay, and then there's a reason why you started playing football, right? Whether it's a player, as a coach, as your parents, just who was that for you, and just who's your favorite player in the game right now? I don't know if you watch NFL, if you don't, just who's your favorite college player you like to just take bits and pieces from the game and add it to yours.
I started playing football mainly because my dad played football at Clemson. So we've always had
Oh,
football on at our house from a young age. And right now, my favorite player to probably watch is either Drake May or Josh Allen. They're both more pocket passer quarterbacks, but have the ability to run, and I like implementing that in my game. 'Cause I can sort of see myself doing the similar things that they do. Just I like to throw the ball first, but if I have to, I can extend plays with my legs. So those are two quarterbacks I like to watch.
100%. And then what's just your favorite youth memory, man? You talked about a little bit playing and being at the Buford program and
Mhm.
playing since you was in the fifth grade, just quarterback position. Just what's your favorite youth memory? Was that winning the state title or just a big throw you made that was just uncharacteristic? Just what's your favorite youth memory if you had to say?
Favorite youth? We won the GFL championship with Buford 2 times. Um, so it's the Gwinnett County Football League, and that was so much fun. I still talk with those teammates pretty consistently. So yeah,
Okay. And just real quick, just how was that run? Do you remember just who you guys beat and just how the game went?
yeah. We beat Peachtree Ridge 1 year, and then we beat Parkview my 8th grade year. Um, we were really good every single year. We would go completely undefeated. The other years we lost in the championship games, so we were really good as a youth team. So my 8th grade team. We had a ton of Power Five players. We have KJ Bolden, Edric, Walt Flynn, who's now at Grayson. Uh, there were probably 15 or 20 Power Five players on that team.
How in addition your how cool was it just to play with them and just kind of go like iron sharpening iron, just see them at a young age and just obviously I know you were going against them in practices. That's kind of helped you get to where you are, just playing that steep competition. Just how cool was that being and kind of that and going against those guys every day?
It was fun. They're great players, so it helped me get better. It's more so just the relationships I built with some of those guys that I still have. That's the best part of it. So
100%.
mhm.
Yes, sir. And then two more. Um, what was I going to ask? Gosh, I lost train of thought a little bit. What's just your favorite hobbies, man? Just outside of school, just you want to kind of clear your mind a little bit and just kind of just do something fun. Like I know you probably take your academics very seriously. You take
Mhm.
your football serious, but what you like to do is just unwind your time and kind of decompress a little bit. Uh-oh. I think he went out. See if we can bring him back. Uh-oh. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, Jack. Were you able to hear my question? Oh, not again.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
does that? And it's so random. Okay, can you hear me now?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Um, all right, we're about to wrap up, y'all. I'm just trying to see if I can get them back on. All right, let you know.
There you go.
Hey, Jack, can you hear me now?
Sir, I can.
Okay. Sorry about that, man. I don't know why that just happened so randomly.
All good. All good.
Yes, sir. Did you hear my last question or no?
Yes, sir. Something I like to do outside the game. I like to golf. Go out there by myself. It clears my mind. So if I'm ever super stressed about something, go out there by myself and just think about it. It usually brings me a lot of peace of mind. Just gives me good quality time to think to myself. So.
Okay. And let me ask you about golf. What pointers would you give? I've never played. I mean, I've done a little top golf, but I don't think that's really golf. So, what pointers would you give me? And then, have you been to any of like the major places where they play Augusta, PGA Tour? Have you been on any of those? Just seeing some of the best golfers in the world.
I have not. And I'm probably not the person you want to ask for golf tips. I go out there more for fun. So.
Okay, respect that. So golf cleared your mind. That's a good one. And just what's your favorite? I guess far as what's your favorite like just musical artist or just favorite like go to show or movie or anything like that?
Yeah, I have sort of two. I have two like very different types of music. I like country music a good bit, depending on time of year. Big like in the summer, but then also like Drake. I listen to Drake all the time. Sort of
Okay,
depending on how I'm feeling as well. So
okay, nice mix. And what's just your favorite like in the summer? What's kind of go to song you like to get? You got like a classic song or is it just country music in general? And then what's kind of your favorite go to Drake song?
I mean in the summer, any sort of Morgan Wallen. And then I love Drake's new album. It's really good. But then Headlines is probably my go-to song for Drake. It's a great
That's
song.
an all timer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an all timer. That used to be my favorite one too. That's an all timer.
It's
All
good.
right,
You
man. So
never miss this.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
you can't. Yes, sir. All right, man. My last two questions. Just one. What was just kind of the goals you set for yourself that you wanted to accomplish this season? You kind of just obviously I know the team goal is first and foremost, but what were just some individual goals you have for yourself coming into this year that you wanted to kind of knock off and hit?
Yeah. I'm trying to throw for 30 touchdowns this year. Um, think I can get there. I'm at 25 right now, I think. So have two more regular season games and then however many playoff games we have. And then obviously team goals win a state championship, go on a deep playoff run. So
Got you. And then this last thing on that, just what has this been? You think this is the most rewarding thing from this season, right? Obviously you faced a little bit of adversity, but just what has been the most rewarding thing that you think could just help you obviously finish the rest of this season, get to where you want to be, and then obviously going off to school when you eventually do that as well.
yeah, the most rewarding thing is just going out there each and every week and competing with my brothers. Just the chance to do that, I'm incredibly grateful for, and so I never want to take that for granted because I got hurt one time in the past, and just like whenever that gets taken away from you, that's when you realize how much you want it. And so just going out there and competing is the thing that brings me the most gratitude. And so yeah.
100%. Well, Jack, I ain't gonna take no more of your time. Thank you so much for just coming on today and let me learn a little bit more about you. Good luck the rest of the way. I'll be cheering you guys on and watching. I don't know if GL's seen it, but I did have him as my standout performer this past week on Tuesday. So I
I
definitely try to give
deserve
some
it.
love to you guys.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thanks so much, man. Enjoy the rest of your night and stay in touch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So that's Jack Staton. Sorry about some of the audio issues, man, but that was a lot of fun talking to him and just highlighting the GSC program. A lot of people not talking about them, but I was just impressed, man. Regardless of what you say about Kel and the athletes they have and things like that, man, GSC was impressive. They were going toe to toe with them. They were throwing the ball. Jack was doing his thing, hitting his receivers. He didn't make no really big mistakes. I mean, at the end, but he did his thing, man. I mean, that was impressive. I mean, if you didn't leave that game impressed with GC and what they could do, and just their playmakers and their quarterback, I don't know if you're watching football or not. So for me, man, they were impressive. Want to shed some light on that program. They're going to be fun to watch. They're a sleeper in 5A, man, so don't be surprised if they go and they upset somebody, one of those higher seeds come playoff time. So Coach Hardy doing a good job. Team as a whole is doing a great job. So that's all I got. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.